Welcome to the Sleazy Podcast, the podcast about anything and everything, but mostly TV and movies. And now it's time to get sleazy.
All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 153 of the Sleazy Podcast. I'm your host, Sleazy. By the way, that's world-renowned Sleazy Podcast. I forgot that part. Tonight, I'm joined by Mr. PBS.
It's me.
And from the Chicagoland area, you can see his head, Hot Sauce.
I'm here.
And filling in for Robzilla tonight, we got a last-minute fill-in, JBone.
Howdy.
So, I don't know. What time was that? Like 3? Maybe even 4.
Have we talked before that he doesn't put it in the group chat?
Yeah, he doesn't put it in the
Like,
group. He sends me the message.
Was
he doesn't want to be
Robzilla one of
shamed.
those, when he was younger, was he one of those people who had like his parents call in off work for him?
Oh,
Oh, shit.
That was the case. Well, he worked with his mom for the longest time too.
So she's just like, my son's not coming in today.
Yeah, Rob isn't taking your shit today. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. No, he has an emergency, and not really an emergency, but he's watching his father for the weekend. So, and he did want to leave him alone for an hour and a half.
What about the dog, though?
Is the dog with him? Did he choose his dad over the dog?
No, because his dad has a dog there, so I don't think.
But I thought the dog couldn't survive without Rob, though.
You would think the way he talks, like that dog is just in a world of hurt if he's not around.
Like the dog and his dad and Rob are all over there like doing insulin shots.
Yeah. The dog's the only one eating a decent meal.
Rob's
Steak,
got some lettuce, and the dogs are eating steak dinner.
and grilled chicken and all kinds of other stuff. 4-star meal for that dog.
Dog needs to get its own Instagram.
They really should put an Instagram out for that dog. But the dog's old as shit. But I think we got an okay show lined up for you. I think we're just going to wing it, kind of. So, but how was everybody's week? In between week from the show. It's bi-weekly, so.
It was a week.
It was a
Work's
week.
been busy.
And we know that you're busy. You're 3D printing like a motherfucker.
He was booked
I'm
solid
trying.
one day.
Check them out on Etsy.
By the way, did you see YouTube is relaxing their policy on cussing within the first 8 seconds?
I saw the article you posted. I didn't get a chance to read it.
We were just talking about that last week, and that article popped up right before we were recording. So I was like, I got to share that with the guys. But so you just had a week. That's it. Nothing. What movies did you rewatch?
I didn't rewatch any.
Do we think that's true?
I don't think that's correct. I don't think that's quite accurate.
We'll save that for when we get.
I haven't had time for a rewatch. I got to catch up on my Oscars.
We'll save that for when we get to the whatchamacallit.
Just give me a date real quick. When was the last show? Give me the date real quick.
So it would have been like the 26th or something.
Yeah, not last Friday, but the Friday before.
14 days ago. Today's the 10th.
Yeah.
Okay, so everything in March. Okay, we're good. Okay, cool. Okay. Okay. Cool.
So you just had a week. You didn't, rewatch anything. You're catching up on the Oscars.
Yep.
That's right. We do need to talk Oscars, for a little bit. Maybe I'll just nix Cocaine Bear since Rob isn't here. I know Rob wants to talk about it because he's like, he enjoyed it very much. But yeah. All right.
Is it like another is it another Sharknado? Are they going to just fucking run wild with it because it was so bad that everybody loved it?
No. It's not like Sharknado where it's extremely bad. Like there's actually decent people in it. O'Shea Jackson was really good in it. And it's Ray Liotta's last movie, actually. So,
Okay.
Ray Liotta was a great bad guy in it. Such a great bad guy. It was nice seeing Ray Liotta one last time. No, Cocaine Bear, I mean, look, it's a stupid movie with over-the-top things. I mean, there's a part where the bear does a line off of a leg he just tore off of somebody. And whenever he smells cocaine, well, it's a mama bear, I should say. Whenever it smells cocaine, it just goes nuts and just starts tearing people apart. There's some kids that get lost and the mom tries to go find them, and that's pretty much it. mixed in with some drug dealers. But it was based off a true story, I guess, right?
That's inspired.
Loosely, yeah.
Yeah. It's not.
A bear
when we
did
say
do some
base,
cocaine and
I think the
died.
bear died like right after.
Yeah, the bear died after it ingested it, but it's based, not like, word for. It's not a,
There was indeed
biopic.
a bear who did cocaine.
It's not a biopic.
That's where it ends.
Yeah, they dumped a bunch of cocaine out of a plane in Tennessee, and I guess the plane was going down or something like that, and the guy jumped out and his parachute didn't deploy.
So the bear had a little snack with his cocaine.
No, this guy ended up in a different spot than the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he landed in somebody's driveway, I think. Yeah, no, Cocaine Bear. I mean, look, if you just want to go and see something silly and over the top, then that's your movie. You might laugh in a few parts, but I didn't find like a lot of people were laughing at parts, and maybe it's because I've never done cocaine. I didn't get the connection to it. But I don't know. There was just something about it. Like I was just like, oh, it's okay. But like it wasn't terrible, obviously, but it wasn't great. Let's just say that. Like a lot of the jokes didn't deliver. I don't think.
The gist I kind of got from just reading stuff about it and listening to stuff was like it was kind of caught in between two types of movies. Like it wanted to be like, instead of, it wasn't outrageous and it wasn't quite all serious. It was kind of in the middle.
Yeah. I guess that you could say that. You can clearly tell it's not a serious movie, but it's not quite like way over the top. Like it's just somewhere
like
in the
Sharknado.
middle. Yeah, Sharknado's way over the top. Like it's so bad. Like it's just so bad they had to do it. But no, it's not quite that bad. It's just somewhere in the middle. When, like I said, because it's not over the top, I think a lot of their jokes just didn't land.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I gave it like 2.5 stars, I want to say. So it is what it is.
Seems to be the gist of the reviews I've heard. Like, man,
yeah.
If you like this kind of thing, you'll like it. If you don't, you probably won't.
He's clicking away over there, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm trying to find you real quick.
Looking up some interesting facts for us.
No, I'm trying to look up your rating if you didn't have it off the top of your head.
I think it's 2.5. I think I originally put 3, and then after thinking about it, I was like 2.5. But
you did a reverse Babylon?
Yeah.
I still didn't finish that yet.
Babylon. I really want to rewatch that. That was just a crazy fucking movie. It was so entertaining now that I think about it.
I feel like if we talk about it later, I feel like at least 1 or 2 of the movies that are up for Best Picture they put in there so they wouldn't have to put that in there.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we'll get to that. We'll get to that after Chris Rock. How's that sound?
You did 2.5 Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyways, so Netflix has the new Chris Rock stand-up. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Negative.
Not yet.
I don't know. What's it called? Do you know the full name?
This motherfucker smacked me at the Oscars.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a one word.
It was like Selective Outrage.
Okay.
I thought Outrage was in the title.
Yeah, Selective Outrage. That's like the punchline of the whole show is the end of it. Yeah.
I gotta say, I don't think Chris Rock is all that funny anymore. Like I thought this was a big, I don't know. I guess I won't say big, but a large percent, like 75% of that stand-up is boring. And I just didn't laugh at anything. Like even the shit about like Will Smith was just like, oh, okay, he's
got to talk about
he's finally speaking about it, but is it funny?
Well, that was just like a straight up like insult. Like the whole thing was like
yeah.
Like he was like pissed off at him.
Oh yeah, I mean, as he should be. And I mean, look, he's a comedian. If you're sitting in the front row, you're gonna get some sort of subject matter about you, getting roasted at the award show or of some sort. But he's got every right to be mad at Will Smith. I mean, the dude walked up and humiliated him in front of the world.
Yeah,
not just the country, the world. Not a few people at a nightclub, the world. But the thing that really gets me, though, is Will Smith is very upset. I guess he came out. I got a picture here saved of it. Okay. Put this up on the screen here.
I heard somebody said like the first 15 minutes weren't very good, and they kind of liked everything after that.
Dude, I had a hard time getting into it, and like I probably watched like 3/4 of it, and then I was like, just where's the Will Smith shit? That's all I really want out of this. Will Smith embarrassed and hurt by Chris Rock's jokes about him. Like, you're embarrassed and hurt? I'm missing the part where you should be embarrassed and hurt. You went up and smacked the dude in his face in front of the world. He waits a year. The only reason why you're embarrassed and hurt is because you lost a good chunk of your respect from everybody from that. I mean, come on, dude. Like Chris Rock has probably gotten the better of him, I'd say.
Well, I think because he kind of laid it out, like why,
and he talked shit.
Why he was upset about the whole thing, like because of all the stuff with his wife, and you just went after him and said he was raised by good parents and stuff like that. Like
he did really say he was like, I was raised, my parents raised me not to fight in front of white people. I was like, okay, that's kind of funny, but that he listen, Will Smith has nothing. Like, listen, just shut your mouth, dude. You smacked the dude and humiliated him in front of the world, and he just got his payback on you.
Like Hot Sauce was talking about those train derailments. Just take your L and move on. It's a
loss. It was kind of like was it in How I Met Your Mother when was it the slap or whatever? He waited forever to he had like leaving. So he had all that time to use it. So this is kind of like Chris Rock hasn't really talked about it publicly for a year now.
A year,
so
pretty much. Like, it's funny that this came out right before the Oscars.
Yeah, so Will Smith has had to sit and wait to hear his like comeback to this. And I think that's probably why he's been waiting for it to come out at some point, and it finally did.
Because he didn't even really say anything after it happened.
No, yeah.
So, listen. He, like I said, I've already said this 3 times. He embarrassed the dude in front of the world, and look, man, karma's a bitch. He just came back and he got it back. Like, not only did he slam, I mean, he talked about your wife treating you like shit, but he called Will Smith a bitch.
Yeah.
A bitch.
He said bitch like 100 times.
Yeah. He called him a bitch. And listen, you are a bitch if you fucking have your wife. Didn't his wife interview him?
Or that's what he said.
He interviewed her about the marriage, about her cheating.
No, she
interviewed him.
Said, yeah, I didn't watch that part, but Chris Rock said that she interviewed.
I've seen clips of that, but they're just the weirdest fucking couple. But
wasn't that on her Red Table show or whatever it is?
Yeah, it was something like that. But
because Chris Rock, one of his jokes was like, she was like, hey, I just sucked a dick, so how do you feel about it?
Yeah.
It was like, wow.
Yeah, I just fucked somebody behind your back. How's that make you feel?
Exactly. So he really had a whole year to prepare what he was going to say.
I just want to embarrass you in front of everybody here, make you look like an idiot. Like the fact that you're in a highly publicized marriage and everybody already knows about it, and then you have to talk about your feelings with her in front of everybody. No, thank you. Like, I don't even know how he's still married to her. I'd just be like, I'm done. I can't do this.
Yeah.
Well, how does that make you feel, Hot Sauce?
Maybe he's got a little kink. Maybe he's got a little fetish. He likes a little humiliation now and again.
Hey, and you know what? That's their marriage, and I guess he's happy. Maybe she has something against him.
A little degradation kink.
Yeah, maybe
he did something a while ago, and she's
he's like into getting pegged, and he doesn't want anybody to know about it. And she's got video of her pegging him or something. But yeah, I mean, you just never know. So, but yeah, I mean, Will Smith. I mean, come on, dude. Like, you did your part, and he got the best of you. Just take it. I'd have just said, that's the way Chris feels. That's the way he feels.
Yeah,
I'm moving on from it. But man, Chris Rock got him.
Will Smith trying to come out of this as a victim is a little bit. Tough.
He's not a victim,
no.
And that's how he's coming out. I'm embarrassed and hurt. Well, number one, you should be embarrassed because you did this to yourself, and well, I mean, I guess you should be hurt, but nobody owes you anything from it.
Yeah,
nobody owes you any sympathy. This isn't going to get you your suspension back from the Oscar. How long did he get suspended?
It lost. Oh, it's back. Wasn't it like 10 years or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, he's got a little bit of a a suspension, from what I heard. But,
It sucks because Will Smith was like one of our favorite people from childhood. You know, there's a lot.
oh
of
yeah,
shows and movies. Like it sucks.
He was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
He did Independence Day,
yeah.
Men in Black. I mean,
That one
countless
movie he did
things.
with Jaden Smith.
Yeah, we won't talk about Wild Wild West, but I mean, he was the king of the king of summer, there for the longest time. And the fact that he's still working, obviously, it sounds like, because they're getting ready to make the sequel to whatchamacallit, the End of the World Apocalypse movie.
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
That's your boy right there.
Do you think that Smith had just been in that King Richard? Do you think he just still had like the forehand
Yeah.
ready to go? It was like muscle memory.
Muscle memory from hitting all those tennis balls and just smacked him. Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. Did he say fucking or motherfucking?
I think he said, I don't know. That was the
Fucking.
because they kind of cut it in America or whatever. And
Yeah, well, the sound just turned off here in America, but you could still see everything that was going on. But what did Chris Rock say? Like, he's like, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's weird. So we got Jimmy Kimmel hosting this year. All right. So what?
The last time he hosted, he gave the wrong award out.
That's right. Those people had to come up and get the award or whatever, didn't they? But they handed him the wrong envelope, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a mix-up of it.
they handed because it was Warren Beatty and
they handed them
Faye
the wrong
Dunaway or
envelope.
something.
Yeah.
And they handed him an envelope that was actually, it must have been like the best actress or something, because it had like some woman's name, or it had Michelle Williams' La La Land, but it was actually supposed to be Moonlight or whatever.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, oops.
Moonlight. So are you gonna watch? I just want to know how many viewers are the Oscars gonna lose due to the season finale of The Last of Us? Because I mean, the Last of Us just keeps getting more and more viewers each week. So I wonder how long it's gonna take. But I guess it'll be over with. It's only 45 minutes, I think, is the finale. But I think it's going to be over before the Oscars kind of gets into the meat of its awards. So,
Oscars goes to like 11 o'clock or something.
yeah, I'm sure they'll be giving out the VFX award, during that time or whatever, and play some, Jimmy Kimmel skit or something. But I did share. I don't know if I shared it here or I didn't share it here. It's in the messages. Hold on a second. There was this article about like the goodie bags or whatever it is.
The arm liposuction.
Yeah, like all the stuff people are getting. Oh, where was that?
I just want a case of Big K water. I don't need anything fancy.
Big K water.
Yeah, just give me a case of Big K Kroger brand water.
I want a fucking PS5 for showing up there.
Give me like a commemorative cup or something. Like, I'm good.
So
a Yeti with the Oscars logo on it.
It looks gold, so it looks like an Oscar almost.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what's inside the nearly 125,000 gift bag given to Brendan Fraser, Steven Spielberg, and other Oscar nominees.
Nominees, not winners, nominees.
Yeah, this is CNBC.com, by the way.
$125,000 per bag.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, so what's included in the bag? Okay, so what does this say? This year's biggest offering is a 40,000 3-night stay at the remote luxury property, The Lifestyle, in Ottawa, Canada. Nominees who decide to visit the all-inclusive estate will get to enjoy a fully stocked fridge filled with gourmet foods, an in-home movie theater, as well as the ability to drive a 1965 Shelby AC Cobra 427 Roadster, as well as a 2023 McLaren Artura. The bags also include dozens of other items and vouchers. These are a few highlights. A $9,000 night stay at the Faro Punta, what is that? Imperator Lighthouse in Ischia, Italy. And up to 7 friends.
You think it's like they're like, a $9,000 3-night stay? I'm not going to that shithole.
Yeah. They're like, that's what I pay per month for my fucking house. It's uncultured swine. A 1 square meter plot of land in Australia through the Pieces of Australia Conservation Project, valued at $50.
Yeah.
Okay. A 12,000 arm liposuction procedure from Dr. Thomas Sue, promising to give women an instant lean and toned look with smooth shapes and perfectly defined contours. All right. Shinery on Oprah's favorite things list that cleans your jewelry while you wash your hands. Very impressive, Oprah. A private hair restoration consultation with leading hair transplant surgeon Dr. Alan J. Bauman, valued at $7,000. I bet Brendan Fraser's getting that one. They were like, we need to help him out. Up to $10,000 worth of procedures from Dr. Konstantin. I'm not even going to try to pronounce Vajasikevich, including chemical peels, laser skin resurfacing, and Botox. It is up to each recipient to decide if they want to use the vouchers that they are given. The IRS views the value of gift bags as taxable income, meaning that the more
Lost you.
luxury vacations to Oscar nominees, no one has ever taken all of them. I wonder why. If they redeem one trip, that's all they really have time to do with their film schedules, family, all that kind of stuff, he says. In my experience, it's very unlikely that they will take 2 trips. All right.
It does say further on that the recipients are only the nominees for Best Director, Best Actress, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah.
Not everybody. Sorry. 27 recipients, including the host, Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, that's cool. At least Jimmy Kimmel gets a decision if he wants to take a trip or get liposuction.
Get to stay in a little nice remote cabin somewhere with a Hillshire Farm sausage pack in the fridge, the mini fridge, and
you like cut out there for a second, but
you guys are
going through a
choppy
tunnel.
as
he was
shit.
like, yeah.
You guys are choppy as
Yeah.
shit. The
Well.
whole thing's been freezing.
Yeah. Well, we seem to be all right on our end for the most part. Hopefully it mixes it all together when we download it, because it takes your local recording and mine. So, but so what award are you most looking forward to at the Oscars on Sunday, Mr. PBS?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, Best Picture is always the big one.
Yeah. So have you viewed anything from the Oscars yet? I mean, any pictures?
So let's go on the Oscars website here and see what we got. I know Hot Sauce is beating everybody on this one.
I've only seen 2.
I've seen a handful, but I don't think I'm going to quite make the entire list. Definitely not by Sunday. That's for sure.
I'm at 9 of 10.
Oh, wow. So what's the one you're missing?
Avatar.
Avatar.
The one not streaming.
Where'd you find out all these at? Or did
They're all streaming.
Really?
Yeah, every one of them is.
All Quiet on the Western Front. That's on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Avatar's in theaters. Banshees is on HBO Max. Elvis is HBO Max. Where's Everything All at Once? You recall that one?
Showtime.
Fableman's you had to pay for, right?
Yes, Fableman. It was 10. It's a $10 buy though. It's not even like a rental. It's $10 on Prime.
Tars
So that was worth
Peacock.
it.
Okay. Tars on Peacock. Maverick is on HBO Max, I think.
No,
Sadness
Paramount
is
Plus.
Yeah, Maverick's
Plus.
on Paramount Plus.
And then Triangle Sadness is on Hulu, and Women Talking is on
Prime.
for the weekend
Weekend, yeah, till the 13th.
through the Oscars.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got to say, I'm a little disappointed in the movies this year. I think last year probably had a lot more better movies for Best Picture, at least for me personally, entertaining.
I don't remember last year at all.
Yeah, well, you had that one Guillermo del Toro flick with Bradley Cooper.
I can see it in my head, but I can't think what it's called.
With the carnival thing.
Yeah, where he was like a magician or whatever. So, sorry, it's not coming.
Yeah, the Benedict Cumberbatch one. the old cowboy
Yeah, the one
western.
from Netflix. That was a good movie. I don't know. I just haven't been too impressed with a couple that I've watched so far this year. So,
Well, the only two I've seen of the crap I love. So,
Top Gun.
Top Gun and Banshees.
Ah, you Irish fuck. You would watch Banshees.
It was so good.
I like Banshees.
So good.
I'm probably the only one here that didn't like it. I
thought it was fucking shit.
I thought it was boring.
I laughed one time. I showed emotion once during that movie.
You're a Colin Farrell. You're a boring person. If you keep bothering me, I'm going to cut my fingers off and throw them at you.
Good. Maybe it'll get you to fucking show up on time.
That's why I don't show up, because I'm so bored.
I didn't think that was funny. The whole thing with him cutting his fingers off and then when
it wasn't funny.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think anything was funny about that movie. I didn't think In Bruges was funny or whatever it was. Like, I just don't fucking like those movies for whatever reason. They don't connect with me.
What is he pointing at?
It's your
what are you pointing at from behind
it says it's uploading your recordings. Doesn't it used to do that after? I thought it was one.
Oh, I don't know what's going on there. We're still recording though.
Mine says uploading also.
I just wanted to make sure it didn't stop in the middle for nothing.
Yeah,
no, mine says uploading too.
Worst case scenario, we still have the audio form here and we can just upload that.
So last year's best pictures were Coda, which won.
Coda, yeah, that was really good.
Belfast with Kenneth Branagh, Don't Look Up, Driving My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Guillermo's was Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, and West Side Story.
Yeah, Power of the Dog was really good.
Licorice Pizza was good.
I haven't seen that yet.
Thomas Anderson, I think.
I'll never watch Coda because it's on Apple. What was it? What else did you say?
Belfast with Kenneth Branagh movie.
And then the King Richard was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was your average sports, biopic or whatever you want to call it. But I like Will Smith in it.
Some Oscar bait.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of what they almost all are this year.
So far, I think the best two movies that I've seen are definitely Top Gun Maverick, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. So
if I had to name two, I'd watch again. It's those two.
Yeah.
The other ones I probably wouldn't watch again, at least not anytime soon.
I think the best performances I've seen are definitely out of Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I haven't watched it. I'd like to see that though.
Oh, it's super good, man.
That movie's fucking horrible.
No, it's not.
It's fucking terrible.
There's a reason why it's winning like every fucking award.
Because everybody's sweating it. It's overrated.
I do agree. I think it's overrated. I think it's good, but I think it's overrated.
Probably a little overrated. It's not like the best movie you'll ever see, but out of the movies this year, it's probably a standout.
It would be amazing if Top Gun could win, but like there's just you almost feel like it doesn't have a chance. But
oh no,
but
it would definitely be like the spoiler.
Not the way these people vote. Like, what was it you were saying about the one Oscar voter said she didn't even watch Triangle of Sadness because she didn't want to be depressed even more?
Right. She said, I saw All Quiet on the Western Front and one of the other ones already. I don't want to see any more sad movies.
Two I'd probably watch again would be Maverick and Triangle of Sadness. I thought Triangle of Sadness was fucking amazing.
I thought it was too long.
Yeah,
like that. The middle and the end section especially were really funny. I was cracking up.
It took a long time to get to where it was going, and then the middle part was okay. Like the best part of the movie, I think, is with Woody Harrelson, and he's just not in the movie enough. And I get why he's not in the movie enough. He serves his point, but yeah. And then the end is definitely, and that's a good, a lot of times the ending of a movie makes a movie. Mm-hmm. And that's point in case one movie where the ending makes it. But is it the best picture of the year? Not a chance.
I almost feel like you could have swapped out Triangle of Sadness and Babylon.
Yeah. Look, it's a crime that Triangle of Sadness is even nominated for best picture.
They're both kind of the same movie.
I think Babylon's probably a little bit more entertaining. But, there's always some... they always nominate these movies that have some subliminal messaging and stuff like that. So, yeah,
they're up to the 10 nominees now from 4 or 6 or whatever it was over the years.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, there's just so many fucking there's too many nominees for Best Picture. Like, why do we have 10 pictures or whatever? Like, shouldn't it just be like 6?
Well, I think they wanted to include more movies.
Fuck them.
Just because, you know, a lot of movies get a bump from being nominated.
Here's an idea. Why don't we give out the second best award, the runner-up award? We'll just do that. How's that sound?
Yeah, it does feel like you're spreading it too thin with 10. Like you're
like, how is it
taking
that
away some of the other ones?
Brendan Fraser's up for best actor and he's killing it in like every other award, but
Yeah.
Whale isn't up.
But the movie, I guess, is not great.
Yeah, but the movie's not great overall. It's not in the best picture.
But he acted well, so
yeah. I really want to see The Whale, but at the same time, I really don't want to be depressed. And I find like stories about like stuff like that very depressed. Like a lot of people watch that My 600-Pound Life on TLC, and I just think they're so fucking depressing. Like I can't fucking watch them. Like I mean, it is like human beings at their lowest. But
them motherfuckers on My 600-Pound Life though, they're loving their life. They aren't depressed. They're loving it up.
What's the one dude that he was like, I forget it. Forget it. Not the doctor, but the doctor sees all these patients. But this one dude was actually addicted to painkillers. So he kept calling 911 to go to the hospital to get refills on prescriptions and stuff like that. But there's this scene where he goes golfing with his dad and somebody else, and he falls off the golf cart, and he's like screaming bloody murder because he doesn't like take like a hard bump and fall off. Like they're going over a hill of some sort, and when I say
rolls off,
and he kind of not even rolls, he just kind of slides off and hits the ground. He's like, ah, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "No." It's like, dude, come on. But yeah, there's what was it? The sisters though, they seem to be living their best life,
living it up.
Why is it that there's always some skinny dude dating those girls too, and they love those big girls?
Ain't no skinny guys in here, so.
All right, so we talked about Cocaine Bear to open the show. We did Chris Rock. We talked a little bit of Oscars. Man, what time does Oscars start Sunday? Do you know?
Probably like 8.
8, yeah.
8 your time, maybe 7 my time.
They do the whole red carpet thing too.
I just recorded.
They're not doing the red carpet anymore this year.
Oh, they're not?
Nope.
That's like part of that part.
Nah, it's like a some different color. It's not. I just saw a thing on that. It's not red carpet this year.
But they're doing a pre thing where they, you know.
Yeah, but it's like literally physically not a red carpet though.
It's the golden carpet now.
Is it golden?
I don't know. I'm just being an asshole. You know?
Oh, it might be. I know it's not. It's not red.
At the Oscars, the red carpet goes champagne.
Okay,
champagne. Yeah. There you go.
That makes sense.
So what would be your 2 that you would watch again? What would be the 2 you would rewatch from the nominees for Best Picture?
Oh, I mean, definitely Top Gun and everywhere, everything. All
okay.
So
I've only seen 2, so yeah. And I would rewatch them both again.
I'd watch Banshees at some point again. I think too. Maybe Triangle Sadness, but it wouldn't be like any kind of soon rewatch. But Maverick, I wouldn't mind watching Maverick again soon.
All right. Okay, so we are going to move on to, Scream 6 comes out this week. Came out today, actually, or yesterday, depending on how you look at it.
Ghostface in New York.
So Mr. PBS thought it would be a great idea if we did like top slashers or top Scream movies. So he actually posted a shit ton of fucking Scream things.
I found our ranker lists.
Yeah.
I would say that I did enjoy the little drops of the promo posters leading up to it coming out as well. You guys froze again. Fuck.
Hot sauce there.
You guys froze again.
Yeah, it reloaded on our screen here. All right, so we're gonna move to. Let's see here.
I don't know if it picked up or not. I said I did enjoy the little drops of the posters coming out for Scream. They kept releasing the different posters that coming out.
Yeah, the posters were cool. Like they had that one subway grid one and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You never got your thoughts on Scream 5, I don't think.
Hot Sauce on Scream 5. What did you think about it?
I liked it. We talked about Scream 5.
No, we did, but you hadn't seen it yet. I don't think.
Well, he said
I
he
think
liked
you guys went and saw it at the theater. Did it come out theater same time as I know we've talked about it because I thought it was fine to reboot. Like I thought it was fine the way they rebooted it and the way they did everything. I thought it was good. They had the old cast in there and, you know, brought some new faces in. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a fine reboot, and I was fine with them not having Nev Campbell come back anymore.
Well, there you go. All right. So we're going to move on to this. All right. Here is the top 25 must-see quintessential slasher movies on Ranker. You got a picture of Leatherface there. John's like, what the fuck's that?
I've seen that before.
All right. So obviously number 1 is Halloween. Are we gonna upvote that?
You know, I almost feel like Halloween is like pre-slasher almost, because like if you tell me slasher, I think like more blood and stuff.
Yeah.
And Halloween isn't known for having the blood. Like, you know, Friday the 13th is. Like if
Right.
you told me slasher, the first thing I think of would be Friday the
Jason.
13th instead of Halloween. But I mean, Halloween's kind of the one that set everybody else up in a way.
I feel like it's the granddaddy of slashers. So
Yeah.
what do you think, Hot Sauce? You think we should keep it
I down it, but I don't think it's gonna matter really.
we'll stay neutral on that. How's that sound? Nightmare on Elm Street.
That one's up there. I mean, that's
Mhm.
So is it a slasher or like some other kind of like movie because it happens in a dream?
I think that's pretty on for a slasher.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, you got your not really masked, but your masked killer
Yeah.
killing the teens or whatever.
Even though he's some kind of supernatural killer.
Demon, nightmare demon.
Yeah, nightmare
He's
demon.
the only one that really scared me when I was younger.
Yeah, this was a scary movie for you to watch as a young
Because right,
kid.
like Jason, I don't go to summer camp. I don't care about Jason.
Jason used to scare me a little bit when I was a kid. For some reason, Halloween never really did, but I always loved Halloween.
Yeah.
Like it was just an intense movie. Oh, Scream. Scream was so fucking good. I mean, that opening, is this like not the best opening for a horror movie?
It's up there. Like I said, I rewatched that last year before 5 came out, and just kind of forgot how much I really liked it.
I watched the first one not like a year ago, and I just didn't like it.
There's something wrong with you, bro. Like I feel like
It's not my thing, I guess.
we need to sit you down and like have those like eye clamps that keep your eyes open or whatever.
I watched the first 2 Screams, and I just was like,
They're so fucking good, man.
They are very, very 90s.
yes.
That was like when I was
Mhm.
watching. These are very 90s.
But they're still good
Yeah.
though. I mean, look, maybe that's because we lived through the 90s. Maybe JBone wasn't really consciously aware of anything in the 90s.
You know, you see like you see furniture, and you're like, that's furniture is so 90s. You see that car is so 90s.
Yeah.
So it's oddly sort of dated and timeless at the same time.
But I mean, the thing about Scream though was that twist at the end.
Mhm.
Like, did anybody really see that there was another killer out there? Especially, you know, when they kind of, you knew the dad was missing or whatever, or
Right.
they popped him out of the closet. But, and then the whole movie, you're guessing who the killer is. And
And that's sort of the fun of this kind of slasher, is guessing who the killer is.
Yeah.
Like when it's Michael or Freddy or Jason, you're like, okay, it's them.
I love that it played off of other movies
Mhm.
too.
I like the ones with a little bit of whodunit aspect.
Wes
And
Craven. You can't go wrong with a Wes
Of
Craven.
course, we all loved who was Jamie Kennedy.
Oh, Randy.
Randy, he was the horror guy, the video store clerk.
I've got Randy's autograph right over your head there.
Mhm.
All right. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the 1974 one. What do you think about that?
Classic, but I don't know if I'd have it above like some of the Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I think this is
No.
definitely one down because I think, you know, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is definitely a classic and inspired a lot of movies, but I don't think it's better than, you know, it's just kind of there with the
It's
slasher
weird 'cause it's
genre.
it's like one of my favorite ones though. Like
Really?
all these movies. Yeah.
Did you watch the one, what was it, 2004 or 2005 with
I
Jessica
think I've seen
Biel?
all of them. Yeah.
You've seen all of them?
I think so. Yeah.
Even the new one on Netflix?
Yeah. I just remember I told you to watch that one.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
Oh,
John's
so bad.
John's a closeted Texas Chainsaw
Yeah,
Man.
didn't see that one coming for a guy that just watched Scream and didn't like it.
A lot of things you like, and it's with all these movies. Like it's part of the genre is like all the like bad decisions that are made.
Oh yeah, there's tons of them. It's like that commercial they have where they're all like,
Let's hide behind.
Oh
the
yeah,
chainsaw.
exactly. Yeah.
"There's a running car. Well, let's go behind all these weapons here."
Stupid.
I guess why I don't like them. There's so much the lack of common sense. I'm just like, come on.
There's a scene in Texas Chainsaw where one of the guys is going through the house and like Leatherface pops out of the hallway and he hits him with like a hammer and you just hear it. And then he like shuts this metal door like into the butchering kind of area. And I still remember the first time seeing it, like thinking like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah. The one on Netflix I did not like. I remember that. I was like, there were so many things like on the bus. When he goes
the
in there,
bus
he's
and
like,
they're
like what? And we're just standing there where he's killing everybody.
like the part where the guy pulls the phone out and he's like,
yeah, I'm good. You're going to be canceled or whatever he
"Yeah,
says.
you're
Something
gonna
like
be
that.
canceled, motherfucker."
I definitely, it was terrible.
And the best part was the end of that movie.
Oh yeah.
Throws the head at her or whatever. Okay, here we go. Friday the 13th.
See, that's just disrespectful.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is like top 3. You know, it's got to go up right
I've
away.
never seen it.
You've never seen the original Friday the 13th?
I don't think so. If I did, I don't remember it.
I have all the Blu-rays over there, courtesy of Mr. PBS.
I think if we're just talking slasher, I might put one or two of the other Friday the 13th above the original.
Oh, definitely.
But the original is, it's Friday the 13th.
It should be there for I think it should definitely be over Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But I guess that's just a preference. Are we serious? Child's Play.
I've only seen Child's Play once when I bought the Scream Factory DVD, and I didn't really care for it.
I never, like, even as a kid, I was like, if that fucking doll came up to me, like, I would just pick it up and throw it and run away or lock it in a room or something. Like, there's just no threat of that stupid doll.
I think it's something with like this movie. I have a fonder memory of it because like it used to be on like TBS all the time or whatever.
Yeah.
It was all the time it was on.
It's fun. I like it, but there's no way in hell it's a top 10 slasher.
And they get cheesier as they go along. Like, they're more just fun movies after there's not like a suspense to them.
I remember the third one where the boy, I think his name's Andy or whatever, is at military school, and like Chucky throws a grenade or sets it up or something, and like one of his friends like jumps on the grenade and just like blows up. That stuck with me seeing that late night TV back in the 90s.
I didn't even like the new one, the remake they did.
Mhm.
Supposedly the show is decent, but I haven't even checked that
There was
out.
a show.
Yeah, it's on like Sci-Fi.
There's actually, because I believe the guy who made the first couple movies or wrote the movie had the rights back, but somebody else also has the rights. So I forget which is which. So the guy is either involved in the new movies or he's involved in the TV show. Which is which.
All right. Sleepaway Camp. This is a fan favorite by many.
Never heard of it.
Classic. You've probably heard of it. You just don't know you've heard of it because the ending is very memorable.
Yeah, when it ends, it's crazy.
It probably could be lower on the list, but the ending alone is.
I think I would put it lower on the list because I just don't. I could see where if people watch this when they were younger, they would love it. But I watched it a couple years ago and I was just like, yeah, it is what it is. What do you think, Hot Sauce?
I might be with Flynn. I'm trying to place it. I can't.
Yeah.
It is kind of your like average summer camp slasher with a little bit of weird elements, but then the ending hits.
When was it made?
83?
Yeah, 83, 1980.
I don't have my glasses on. I'm sitting back because I'm fat and lazy. 80.
Uh-oh. All right, The Burning. I've never even heard of this.
Never heard of it. Yeah.
That's Harvey Weinstein's Friday the 13th.
Is it really?
Yeah, I believe that's the Weinsteins, one of their early, whatever their company was at the time.
And down on principle alone.
At summer camp, some teenagers pull a prank on the camp's caretaker, Cropsy. What a name. But the joke goes terribly wrong, and the teens leave Cropsy for dead after setting him on fire, but no one keeps Cropsy down. A few years later, the burned and disfigured caretaker returns to camp equipped with his trusty shears, ready to unleash his particular brand of vengeance on a whole new group of teens. The murderous Cropsey stalks the campers in the woods one by one.
He even had to do it as a camp too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it very much
They're all
is.
camp movies. What the?
I think because this movie, they stole Tom Savini from whatever Friday the 13th movie was they were making at the time, and they got Tom Savini to come do the burning instead to do all the gore effects and all that.
Okay.
It's worth a watch, but I don't know.
Do you own it is the question.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, of course he does.
Oh yeah,
I've
got it.
I think I own every one on the list so far.
You can open your own library.
He could.
No, he couldn't. He won't let nobody use them.
Right.
Some of those he's only got one copy of. He ain't coming off of it.
Again, never heard of it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. You're leading the charge on this, PBS.
Love it. I love Deep Red. I don't know if I'd call it a slasher exactly. It's in Italy it'd be called a giallo, and giallos are kind of like in between like a thriller and a slasher.
Okay.
So it's definitely kind of slashery, and it is really good. It's worth a watch. It's an Argento movie, and it's about like a guy, a jazz, I think he's a pianist, like sees a murder happen, and he goes up to investigate it, and he kind of gets caught up in what's going on, and like he can't quite remember what he saw, and the police think maybe he did it, and he gets involved. It's good. I'll have to bring that over sometime and watch it. That's one of those ones that if Rob Zilla was here, like I'd like to see that, but I haven't yet.
I've watched several shitty movies ahead of that.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know if I'd put it on my slasher list.
A psychic medium is brutally murdered, and musician Marcus Daly feels a need to solve the case since he was the one who discovered the body. Working with him is reporter Gianna Breezy, who hopes for a big scoop by solving the case. When one of Marcus's own friends ends up murdered at the hands of the same killer, the resourceful pair realize they must work fast to uncover the murderer's identity, or they might serve as the maniac's next victim.
Good movie.
I'd watch that.
Love the score.
1975. That's a classic. You would love the score.
It's too new for you.
The Hills Have Eyes.
I've only seen this one once. It's been a long time, but I've been meaning to revisit Wes Craven's earlier movies, but I haven't.
I've seen the remake.
Yeah.
I've never seen the remake. But
I like the remake. See, it's weird. I don't know if I consider this a slasher movie.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same.
It's kind of like one of those deformed, crazy people movies, you know?
Yeah. Redneck Hill Family or whatever.
Yeah. I just don't consider it a slasher movie, so I'm going to bump it down just because of that. What do you think, Hot Sauce?
Yeah, it's no.
Not a slasher.
No.
These people need to get fucked on this list.
I do think you should probably see all of these movies so far, but
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying any of them are bad,
yeah,
except for maybe Chucky. But
this is Wes Craven's other early movie.
I've seen the remake of this too, and I enjoyed it. The Last House on the Left, 1972. Man, he was killing it from early on.
That's his first, I believe, first non-pornographic movie.
First non-pornographic. So he made pornos.
Yeah, that's kind of how he got into the industry.
Oh, good for Wes.
He came from some like religious background too, so it's always really funny that he got into porn and then
usually how it is
these kind of movies.
Yeah, teenagers Mary and Phyllis head to the city for a concert. Then afterward, go looking for drugs. Instead, they find a gang of escaped convicts who subject them to a night of torture and rape. The gang then kills the girls in the woods, not realizing they're near Mary's house, when they pose as salesmen and are taken in by Mary's mother and father. It doesn't take the parents long to figure out identities and plot revenge.
That's another one that I don't know if I'd go like onto the quintessential slasher list, but I think if I did, I think I'd put that one over Hills Have Eyes. Like I said, those are both ones I need to revisit.
All right,
Saw.
This is Hot Sauce all the way. Saw franchise.
I don't know.
Slasher.
I don't know if they're slashers though.
Yeah, I don't think that they're it's just a new type of genre in the horror.
It's like a thriller. I mean,
yeah,
it's got some of those, like, it's got your masked killer and kind of all that stuff.
But he's not really inflicting the killings himself,
right?
And he's not slashing with a knife.
I remember this used to be a tradition, and we would go see every Saw movie in the theater
because they came out every Halloween.
Yeah,
every October they released a new one. I've only seen them up to like 4, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
I stopped around 4 or 5,
Yeah.
How many are there now? Like 8?
8.
I think they're making 10, aren't they?
Well, they
thought-
did the one with the spinoff with Chris Rock, and then I think they're doing
Right.
Spiral.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Spin-off
One.
Spiral. But I'm
They can't let it die, man.
not as long as Tobin Bell's allow, I guess.
House of Wax. Now, I don't know. I could kind of consider this one a slasher. What do you think?
I've still never seen this one all the way.
What?
I know
Yeah,
it's.
I haven't either.
This is the 2005 one too, not the
I know.
original.
Like when it came out, it was kind of derided. Paris Hilton, blah blah blah. But I think over the last decade or whatever, it appears on a lot of people's lists of movies that they actually like.
It's one of my
It's
favorite
not bad.
during Halloween season. So I like it. Jared Padalecki from or Padalecki, however you say his name, from Supernatural is in it. And then Eliza Cuthbert or whatever from Girl Next Door.
Mhm.
24.
Yeah, and 24. She's in it. So I mean it's got a good little cast and it's entertaining. I like it. I think JBone would probably like it too.
Yeah, I'd watch it.
Yeah. I think I'll move that up. Maniac. Maniac is a 1980 American exploitation slasher film directed by William Lustig and written by Joe Spinell and C.A. Rosenberg. The plot focuses on a distributed and traumatized serial killer who scalps his victims. Spinell also developed the story and stars as the lead character.
Sort of another kind of classic, kind of underground classic. I don't know if again, another one, maybe not quite a slasher. It does have a very famous effect where Tom Savini gets his head blown up with a shotgun.
Really?
Yeah, that's sort of what it's really known for anymore.
I know
That-
Maniac Cop, but I don't know Maniac.
Yeah.
That right there would make it worth watching to see that shotgun scene.
Like I said, so far I think I've got almost all of these now on Blu-ray or something in a collection somewhere.
Tom Savini's the man.
And then I think a year later he did another head explosion in a different movie or something.
Oh. Silent Night, Deadly Night is a 1984 slasher film produced by Ira R. Barmark, written by Michael Hickey, directed by Charles E. Sellier Jr., and starring Robert Brian Wilson, Lillian Chauvin, Gilmer McCormick, yada, yada, yada. Film focuses on a young boy who, after witnessing his parents' brutal murder at the hands of a man clad in a Santa suit on Christmas, grows up tumultuously in a Catholic orphanage and slowly emerges into a spree killer himself. The film caused an uproar when it was released in 1984 during the holiday season and has developed a cult following since then. What do you think?
It's all right.
It's all right. I
Yeah,
don't think
no.
I've ever seen this.
It's got all there's a whole I think there's like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
The second one is almost the second one uses like 45 minutes of footage or something from the original.
Oh, wow.
But it's got that famous meme about a garbage day.
Okay.
It's okay.
Ooh. See, listen, the Cabin Fever is not a slasher.
Right. I liked Cabin Fever. I never watched that one, but
Yeah, I like Cabin Fever by Eli Roth. I mean,
that's like a contagion movie.
yeah, it's a disease movie. A college student vacationing with friends in the mountains mistakenly shoots a local man with a skin infection while hunting in the woods. Panicking, he abandons the scene and leaves the man for dead. When the man stumbles into a reservoir, he infects the water supply, and soon one of Bert's friends becomes infected. The friends struggle to stop the contagious flesh-eating disease while on the run from a group of ornery backwoods locals out for revenge. Yeah, it's not really a slasher movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I would put that.
And it seems to me like a lot of these, it's like, oh, well, people get killed, it's a slasher. I don't think just because people get killed, it defaults to being a slasher movie.
I need a serial killer with a knife chasing around virgins.
Preferably teenagers. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's my recipe for a slasher. Okay, Devil's Rejects. I will say I'll give that as a slasher. That's a movie about people killing people.
Still haven't seen that one.
You've never seen this one?
I don't think I've ever seen House of a Thousand Corpses all the way through either.
Now listen, I stand by my statement. Rob Zombie does make movies for stinky people. But I will say I did enjoy The Devil's Rejects. I didn't enjoy the one you just mentioned,
House of a Thousand Corpses.
House of a Thousand Corpses,
the
and a lot of
original.
people love that, but I don't know. I just wasn't hip to it. I mean, it was okay, but I'm not talking about it like everybody else does. Like, oh my god, it's so great.
The Devil's Rejects seems to be the one that everybody talks about when they talk about Rob Zombie for the most part. Anyway,
I haven't even seen the last one he did. Was it?
I don't remember where they come back again or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't even seen that one. I'll leave that. I feel like we got a Mr. PBS one on our hands.
I've never watched this one. It's Toby Hooper.
The Fun House.
I do own it, and it's like some kids get trapped in a fun house in a carnival, and there's a masked killer after them. So definitely slasher.
How do you own it, but you haven't watched it?
It's just
You're right.
in the to watch pile.
How big is the watch pile?
Big.
Infinite.
Yeah.
I think
infinite.
I think when you get home, you should take a picture of the watch.
When
Buy movies, you have no idea if they're good or not.
No, I usually have a decent idea if I think I'm going to like it.
Oh, okay.
But you won't watch it.
If it's directed by somebody you like or whatever.
Right, like it's Toby Hooper. It's one of his earlier movies. I don't. I'll try to find the rest on streaming anymore. There's just so many labels doing all these 4K special editions or whatever. You kind of really got to pick either something somebody tells you really need to see and own, or you just need to kind of stick with the ones you like. I've seen this one's been on TV before, and I've seen pieces of it, but I've just never gotten around to watch it. Scream Factory, when they came around like 10 years ago now or whatever, it was one of their first ones they put out, and I didn't buy it, and then they remastered or whatever in 4K, and then I did buy it, so I got it sitting on the Scream Factory to watch shelf.
Okay, all right.
You've got a to watch shelf based on the studio.
Yeah, just because I got a lot of Scream. Because when Scream Factory first started, I bought a lot of Scream Factory. That was a case of me buying ones I didn't know whether they were good or if I'd like them or not.
He's like, this is the Blumhouse pile right here.
Well, Scream is the offshoot of Shout, right?
Right.
So how long Shout been around?
I feel like Shout was like originally maybe part of Rhino or something, and they did music and CDs. I feel like they've been around since the 90s or 80s or something like that.
Okay. So, and then they spun off and started doing, the horror ones under Shout, but under the Scream umbrella.
Right. Because I only have a few different labels that I like divide by, like Scream, Arrow, and Criterion pretty much. And the others just kind of get mixed together. Vinegar, Kino. Yeah. I kind of keep my Kinos in a spot.
All right.
I think I've only got one or two Kinos.
You got it when they go on, they do a couple sales every year, and you get pretty much everything for like $10.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you get like 5 or 6 of them free shipping. You're in. Because I'll send you a picture of the. I feel like I have before, but I'll get another one.
You get that shipping. You're in.
I'm to the point now where I need to buy another shelf because I'm running out of shelf. So
I've got a whole shelf in the basement I haven't even put together yet.
I'm starting when they're just sitting in boxes on the floor. That's when you start feeling like a hoarder.
Yeah,
and you're like, all right, I got to try to cut back here.
I finally threw away all my cases. All my movies are in binders now.
Mm-hmm. Can't do that. But I know some people do this. I just got to do it.
I finally had to. It was like same with my CDs. I've got a lot of CDs and they're all in binders.
I threw all my CDs away. I think all the cases, anyways.
Yeah, I threw all my cases.
I think they're in a book over there. They just took up space, and I was like, oh.
That's what happens.
I was like, I can look at these on the internet any day I want, the artwork or whatever. All right, so 19. I know what you did last summer. One of my favorites.
Yeah,
I need to rewatch this because I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, this is.
It's funny we didn't bring this up, and we were just on a Jennifer Love Hewitt kick, like a month ago, when you and I were talking on Instagram.
Yeah. This is like one of her best there. But the first one, I mean, they both have good casts. I would say the first two of them, but the first one's just a classic. I mean, it's got Jennifer Love Hewitt.
What are you waiting for?
It's weird because I liked this one, but like because this and Scream were around the same time.
Yeah,
and I remember bits and pieces of Scream, but I don't remember like liking it. And I rewatched it and didn't really like it, but this I did remember liking.
Oh yeah, I Know What You Did Last Summer is a classic. I mean, definitely a slasher. I mean, with the hook,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Part 2 is maybe like the first horror movie I went to see in the theater.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Because
surprising.
I had to go with mom or dad, and dad didn't really care for horror movies.
Okay.
I got him for that one.
I think I might have seen this at the Great Southern Theater.
Oh, the Dollar Theater.
Yeah,
Probably. Yeah, I would say right around then it was switching over to a Dollar Theater.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean Jennifer Love Hewitt, Ryan Phillippe,
Fisherman.
Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Freddie Prinze Jr. are all star in this. So knockout cast.
That's a 90s cast right there.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Very
yeah.
nice.
It's like the Mount Rushmore.
That should be way up there, man. So I'm moving that up. At 20, Slaughterhouse, 1987.
Don't know that one.
Quite the description on it.
Yeah, that's the description for this is literally Slaughterhouse is a 1987 horror comedy film.
I'm on IMDb. Give me a minute. Slaughterhouse 87. The owner of a slaughterhouse facing foreclosure instructs his obese and mentally disabled son to go on a killing spree against the people who want to buy his property.
Alrighty then. All right, so 21's Massacre at Central High.
I do own that one, but haven't seen it.
22 is Hell Night,
Linda Blair, haven't seen that one yet.
1981. 23 is Hostel. I really liked Hostel.
I don't think I
Hostel's
saw
good.
Hostels all the way through.
Yeah, I think Hostel needs to go up a little bit.
Eli Roth.
Only 32% of people agree with me.
Hostel made my stomach hurt.
Yeah. And that part where he slashes the dude's
Achilles
tendon.
Oh my god, that
And then the eyeball scene too. Like that was gruesome back
that was
then.
horrible. I walked out of the theater on the second Hostel.
Really?
Yeah, I
they
remember-
get progressively
I remember
worse.
leaving. I was like, "This is crazy."
I didn't watch the second one in the theater. Satan's Little Helper. Don't know
I feel
that
like
one.
I've heard of it, but
That's it for the list.
That's what I call my wife, Satan's little helper.
Satan's Little Helper, huh? All right. So that is the top slasher movies according to that ranker one.
yeah, we had some other ones in there. They had like 50 movies and stuff. I was trying to go through and maybe like make a letterbox list to see if there was any we missed worth seeing. But that
Yeah.
one's pretty good. There's an 80s list because I feel like most of the quintessential slashers, if you will, came out in like the 80s.
I'm kind of sad that none of the other Jason movies are on there. The other Friday, like 2, 3, or 4. I mean, I think 4 is one of the best Friday the 13th movies.
A lot of people, if you went to the other lists, I know there were more on there, but like I need to rewatch 2 because I know a lot of people who like Friday the 13th really like 2. But like I love part 3 where he gets the hockey mask.
Yeah.
Part 4 is like a direct continuation of 3 almost.
3 is where he sends the handicapped fella down the stairs, isn't
I
it?
think that's 2.
Is it 2?
I think so.
I need to watch those.
How do they have? Well, they put they put the Saw franchise on that list, but they didn't put the Friday the 13th franchise on that list.
Right. Like the one just said Friday the 13th. So
Yeah, I think the first, because the first 4 kind of go together. I
Mhm.
think.
yeah, I would say that.
And then I forget 5 or 6. 6, I still remember like renting from the video store. I really like that one. That's the one where they end up chaining him under the lake at the end.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one where Jason isn't in it, but it's still Friday the 13th?
I think that's 5.
5.
Five.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
Turns out
sorry.
it's not actually Jason.
Yeah. It's weird that they only had one Friday the 13th on there. I would have at least had 2 on there. But all right, so I guess we're just gonna chat about The Last of Us to close the show out. Tomorrow's the finale.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. So by the time people are listening to it, it'll be tomorrow, or it'll probably be over it. So, but yeah, Sunday's the finale.
We had just had the penultimate episode the other
I
Sunday.
know, man.
The best episode I think of
And
this season.
I'm so glad. No, it's not. I don't think it's the best. I think as far as like anxiety, Phil, that episode with the clickers is like the second episode.
Whether in the historical building or
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's goddamn, and that's just because I played the game.
the game, yeah. See, I
And
never played the game.
those fucking clickers are probably one of the scariest parts of the game.
I was a little meh after the first episode, but in that second episode, it really that's where it kind of hooked me.
They get you with this, and I mean, that's probably like the most that they've had to battle with. You know, aside from the what's the one episode with the big boy?
with the bloater.
The bloater,
That was
yes.
3 or 4.
Yeah, 4.
I think it was 4.
Yeah. Now that shit was crazy when he ripped that dude's fucking head off.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, dude. Like the bloater wasn't even that bad in the game, but I mean, I guess it is if you get killed by it, but
Got killed a lot by it.
yeah. But man, it fucked that whole militia up though. I mean, that was a crazy fucking episode. And that was so cool seeing Joel shoot all those motherfuckers at the top of that house. That was really cool.
Like a sniper.
But yeah, I mean, last week's episode was like a real I don't know, like pivotal part of the game. Like that scene in the restaurant where you're with Ellie and you know, and obviously if you're listening and you haven't watched it, sorry, we just fucked you over on this, but spoiler alert, you know, Ellie's fighting a religious white guy that wants to rape her. But yeah, man, a really intense episode.
How do you feel about the filler episodes kind of controversy or whatever?
I think episode 3 was like a really, really great episode of like television.
Right.
Like I think it was
I see people more talking about the mall episode or whatever than 3.
Well, I think they all
My wife loved the mall episode. She thought the mall episode was great.
yeah.
I liked the mall episode. I thought it was awesome. And it's not like they're like true filler episodes because they serve a purpose.
Yeah.
I feel like people forget how TV used to be.
Yeah.
Like you can just take an episode and build the characters or whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily have to move everything forward at once or something.
Like in the mall episode, we get a little more detail in Ellie, like what Ellie was up to before she found out she was immune, and you know the kind of upbringing she had in the military school, and
Well, I guess that's why this show is so well done. Like, because back, you know, when if this was have been like a 23 episode show or whatever, like there would be a lot more fill. It's like they have to give you this information in a short amount of time.
It's a 9-episode season.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really not filler material in there. Like everything serves a purpose. Like even episode 3 with Bill and Bill's lover or whatever. Like there's key moments in there that you see Pedro Pascal's character interacting with Bill, and you know, just key moments there that kind of come to fruition later on in the episode when they get through all that.
Yeah.
But I mean, The Last of Us, man, I've said it before, they're just nailing it, everything, every last detail, even the little things that they change up are just so fucking great.
And it really shows like Craig Mazin, like how talented he is. Like, because I just recently watched Chernobyl.
Oh yeah.
And I was like a really late, you know, I never watched it before, but like I wanted to watch it before Last of Us because I wanted to see like some of his work, and that was phenomenal. And to see him adapt this video game into this show has been unbelievable. He is really,
a well-cherished video game.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they have Neil Druckmann who did the video game.
Yeah.
So it's cool they're working together to make this show.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what's her face is knocking it out of the park is Ellie. In that last episode, man, she went ham on that fucking dude at the end there.
Well, I was listening to a podcast about it, and someone who had played the video games, and they're saying like in the second video game, she's a lot older, so they were wondering if they're going to be able to use her in the next season, when they get to season or the second video game or whatever. And
that's the thing.
They were debating whether they think because it's a lot more like, I guess she's a lot more physical and a lot like just older, and wondering if that'd be possible.
Yeah, probably. But here's the thing though, like, is one season really going to be the whole game, the first game? I don't think it is. Like, I mean, we've gotten a huge chunk out of it, but I don't see them.
I was kind of under the impression early on that it was going to be the first game.
That's what I thought.
But then they've announced the second season, and he said in an interview or something that he hadn't worked on the second game yet. So it almost seems like it's going to have to be 2 seasons, at least for the first game.
Well, you mean?
But I was under the impression that it was going to be game 1 was going to be the first season, but I don't know if that's going to be right or not.
I don't, because they go across the country.
Yeah.
So
well, I listened to a podcast with Casey Boyes. He's like one of the head guys at HBO, and he was saying that he kind of made it seem like he wanted he would prefer them to stretch it out further because it's such a successful show.
Yeah.
But like the people who are writing, you know, Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann they want to make the show they want to make. So he'll defer to them to how long they want to go, but he'd be open to doing several seasons of the show.
I think they could get a solid 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Out,
so
with the material they have with the first 2 games. But
I think he did because he said game 2 would have to be at least 2 seasons or something like that.
Yeah. And I mean, the second game itself has 2 games in it, pretty much.
Yeah. So they
Still haven't played it.
as long as possible.
You still haven't played that?
Not the second one, no.
You play half the game with Ellie and then half the game with new character Abby. And they're both phenomenal stories and they intertwine right at the end. But yeah, the second game is a long fucking game, but it's fucking amazing. And yeah, I mean, even the first game was sort of long, but yeah, I don't see the first season just being like the first game. So, but it's funny. I haven't played The Last of Us in so many years now. I have a hard time remembering every last detail about it.
Yeah.
So like, even like during this episode, like at the end when Ellie was in the fiery restaurant, I was like, oh yeah, that was a really hard part of the game. And I had to, you know, I wanted to look it up and kind of find out some stuff on it, you know, obviously. So, well, not find out some stuff, but revisit some stuff with it, you know, the clips, the cinema.
I want to replay the game again now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I would love to play it on PS5, but I really don't want to spend $500 and then another $70 on a game I've already played twice. And what are you doing over there?
What do you mean?
What's
I'm not
that?
making no noise.
What was that clicking?
What did you hear?
I heard some clicking.
I've got my feet. I'm moving my feet. I might have kicked something under my desk. I'm like, I didn't do shit.
Yeah, it sounded like a pen or something.
I mean, you can see my head bobbing because like I don't sit still. That's why I'm always fucking leaning back because I can't sit still. I always have to have my feet up. So I'm down. I'm probably kicking cables and shit under my desk because I got my feet moving.
I can hear something, some kind of click.
I'll stop.
Put your hands in your pockets.
Sit still, sir. He's gonna be a statue.
Eric's the sound Nazi.
He's just gonna screenshot it and walk away, and it'll look like he was there.
Yeah, his next week he'll just put the thing up and just kind of talk.
The background just
him just laying back like that. Oh, I just hit the mic myself.
It's because I can't fucking sit still.
I notice you are fidgety when you
I can't sit still. I cannot sit still.
Man, that used to be John over there.
I'm the same way. I'm just exhausted now, but yeah, I'm normally the same. I watched my like wedding video over it, and the whole time I'm moving the whole time like I've got Parkinson's or something.
Well, it was like 90 some degrees that day.
It was hot, yeah.
Yeah. This guy wanted to get married at Memorial Day weekend at 1, because it's bad luck. You have to get married
12:30.
Yeah, after 12, right? It's good luck
on the bottom of the hour, on the upswing of the hour.
Yeah, there you go.
Whatever it is, yeah.
But yeah, we're out on the balcony. Where was it at?
Confluence Park.
Yeah. And
shit.
At the boathouse.
Yeah, at the boathouse. The sun's just beating down on us. And I had at the time I still had a little bit of hair and I had gel in my hair. And I just remember the gel ran down, like I was sweating so bad the gel ran down into my eyes and it was stinging so bad and I'm trying to hold still. But I think out of the whole video, I think I was probably the person that was probably the stillest.
Yeah, I couldn't stand still. I still can't. If I'm standing up, I just got restless leg syndrome or something.
Looked like Michael J. Fox almost.
Yeah, that's what. When I watched the video, I was like, "Oh my god, why didn't somebody say something to me?" Because the whole time I'm just like,
because it's just normal. That's what you do.
I know but I don't know I'm doing it.
Poor Michael J. Fox, though, man. It's so sad seeing him nowadays. But at least he's getting out and
it's kind of sad, but at the same time, I'm glad that he's out.
Yeah, and
trying to do whatever he wants to do.
He's revisiting memories and giving fans,
hanging out. He obviously likes the other crew of Back to the Future, hanging out with him. So
yeah, I just think like what his career could have been if had that not cut his acting career a little short, because he was a great actor.
Yeah.
I just saw something that talked about he forgot how to skateboard in between part 1 and 2.
Oh wow.
And he thought that was weird just because he just learned how to do it like a couple years ago. And he said now that might have been like an early sign of Parkinson's
Yeah,
way back in 80.
because you do forget stuff, don't you?
Well,
With that-
I think it was sort of like muscular and
Yeah.
all that.
Motor
So,
skills and
yeah, and I
so
mean,
he
that,
said he just kind of forgot how to do it when he had to ride the hoverboard or whatever.
yeah, and that's a big part of like skateboarding, muscle memory, and all that. Wow, it's crazy. But I mean, at least he got to do all those movies, and really,
I hope he's out there enjoying it, even with
yeah,
what he's got to deal with.
yeah, and hopefully they find something that kind of eases the burden on that or whatever. But all right, so I mean, I'm thoroughly enjoying The Last of Us. It's been a great ride. I can't believe it's gonna be over after
Yeah.
this
I can't
weekend.
wait to see what the episode is.
Like, that has been my fucking Sunday. Like, I wake up on Sunday and it's just like nothing matters until 9 o'clock. And then 9 o'clock rolls and I'm right on time. I'm launching HBO Max.
Yep.
So
Sometimes you gotta let it buffer for a minute because everybody's getting on at the same time.
yeah. Which, you know, it's breaking. Didn't it break streaming records or something like that for HBO?
I think every week it just keeps going up more and more and more too. It's shattered everything they've got.
And it's
the
not,
last episode did some really big number.
and it's not like 200,000 people. It's millions more, like a couple million every episode. So I mean, word of mouth is really getting around with this show.
Seems like that's kind of rare for a lot of stuff that these days they kind of lose stuff as they go.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been
Yeah, it just keeps building because I mean, it's such a well-made show. And
So, as a fan of the game, Hot Sauce, what is one thing that you really enjoy that they've done with the show?
It's tough because they've done such a good job. Like there's nothing that hasn't went along with the game in some aspect. You know, there's the little bit of tweak for this or a little off of that. But I think what I like the most is how well they've done it. They've stuck so close to the game, but been able to make it a successful show as well.
They've really brought the game to life without shitting on fans of the game.
They said in one of the little after episode interviews that like they kind of went into it like if we're not going to change it for the better, then we should try not to change it. But if we're going to change something, it needs to be better than we thought it was in the game.
Yeah, that's like this past episode they were talking about the how in the game like they don't really go into detail of that the bad guy in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of expand it for the show and to make it better for TV. And it seems like it was better for that.
Yeah, it definitely was. Man, what is the deal with it just doesn't matter. There's always some crazy white religious guy that's ruining something.
I forget the name of that actor, but he was so good in that.
Yeah,
it was so good.
It's funny because you know in the beginning of the episode, you get introduced with they show the group struggling, to kind of get food or whatever, and then they show the run in between him and Ellie, with the deer she shot. And he doesn't seem like a terrible guy.
Yeah. So when you first see him, do you, as a video game player, do you know what he's all about already? Like, do you see him? You're like, okay, I know who this guy is.
Like I said, I haven't played the game in so long.
Okay, so you don't.
Right, the game's over 10 years old. Like we're 10 years old at this point. 10 years ago at this point.
I played
real life,
and I didn't even play it on PS3. I played it on PS4 right when they did the re-release.
Okay.
So it's probably been since 2013.
I'm just curious, like the different experiences, like as someone who's never played the game versus someone who has, like if
like I said, things slowly kind of kick in.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck.
When she threw the thing in the corner, started to set on fire in the restaurant. I was like, oh fuck, that was a great part of the game. But like, I just didn't think about it. Like all the little things you kind of forget, but the key moments really stand out. And you're like, wow, they're doing a great job with that. And
like Henry and Sam and just everything.
And the thing about this guy that is doing The Last of Us, and I've said this before on previous shows, like, I don't know, like, I'm not like a Chernobyl historian or anything, but I've always been interested in it, and it's always scared the shit out of me. I've watched a shit ton of documentaries. I know exactly what happens, from the minute, they fuck everything up to how they responded, to what they did. And I watched Chernobyl, and it, like, my heart was racing knowing what was going to happen in every episode.
Yeah.
And how they responded and all that. So it's the same way with the Last of Us. Like, yeah, I know what happens in certain parts, but it's still suspenseful, and it's still kind of fresh and new to my eyes almost, if that makes sense. But they do a great job of, just, even if you've already been there, done that, they do a great job of keeping it suspenseful and dramatic to you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hats off to the cats that are running the show, Neil Druckmann and what's his face,
Craig Mazin.
Yeah, I mean, beautiful job. I mean, this is like, when it's all said and done, they should teach a class in college, film school or colleges, about how to make adaptations properly.
Yeah.
You want to know? You want to know some of Craig Mazin's other writing credits? I'll run these down for you real quick.
I've seen him before, so
just ask yourself if you thought this guy would make, Chernobyl and Last of Us. So, 1997's Rocket Man. That's the one where, like, Harlan Williams.
Yeah.
Oh,
is
yeah.
an astronaut or something.
That's a PBS fan favorite.
Senseless. I'm not sure what that one was. Oh, it's like it's got Damon Wayans and or Marlon Wayans and David Spade. Yeah. Scary Movie 3, Scary Movie 4, Superhero Movie, Hangover 2, Identity Thief, Hangover 3. So I don't know. Back in 2013, you think this guy would be here making these kinds of shows?
No,
It's
absolutely. He went from comedies to, some of the best television that's ever going to be made.
Like you said, that Chernobyl, those couple episodes, like where they're just handling parts of the reactor that blown up. It's just like dread inducing. You're like,
I remember the one episode where they had to, like, swim to, what was it, release one of the valves or something like that. That was fucking intense.
the episode where they got to go up and throw the pieces of the reactor off the top of the building.
Like 45 seconds or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Like
you can't be out there for more than whatever many seconds. You got to be back.
Yeah, it was at 90. I think it's like 90 seconds or something.
If you go, you throw a piece, you come back.
They literally have like a, what was it? A guy that would hit the pipes or something
like that. And
then you had to run back in, or because your shit would start to melt off you or whatever. But yeah, that's crazy. A lot of those people did absorb more than they should have with the radiation.
Oh yeah,
and they still lived.
Well, it's great if you're watching. You're like, now, like you feel so bad for these people because like
dude, they had a draft for people to go in, and they drafted people to go in and clean that shit.
Yeah,
up. And they did it gladly. Oh, Mother Russia, fuck that. No thanks. You fucked it up. You go fix it. You
want to go clean up that East Palestine disaster, Sleazy?
Palestine, sir.
Yeah, sure.
No, I would not like to touch any of that.
You
stuff.
want to go get some of that soil?
No, I feel bad for those people, man. They got fucked. And it's funny. I was watching where that guy was testifying or whatever, and they were like, "So, are you gonna do the right thing and these people whose homes would have been 100,000, they could sell it for, now they can only sell it for 50,000. Are you gonna do the right thing and put that money back into their pocket?" And he's like, "We're committed to doing the right thing."
Like, we're ordering pizza for the whole town.
He was like, "We've already spent $20 million.
Yeah,
or we've already committed that much, or whatever."
I got a hold of Donald Trump, and he gave them Trump water. That's good enough, right?
Yeah, that was his coach. Like, we're committed to doing the right thing. Okay.
And 19.5 million of that 20 million is probably fucking lawyers to keep their asses out of fucking jail.
Yeah. And I mean, what's crazy about that is, like, how many more crashes or derails have there been?
Hell, there's been like 2 or 3 in Ohio.
Yeah, alone. There's been like 4 or 5 since then. It seems
one in
like.
Alabama.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, one is enough, but they shouldn't be happening like this back to back to back. You would think they'd be like,
some guy got killed in Cleveland or whatever because the train backed into a dump truck or something like that.
Oh, holy shit! It's just terrible, man.
A train made me late for work the other day.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. See,
did you get dinged for it?
No, emergency vacation.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
But fuck trains. That's the message.
yeah. Man, you get stuck behind a train. Did you see that meme I shared where it had the guy, people getting stopped by a train in Ohio, and then it shows like it goes to the next clip of the guy like backing off and then driving away. If that isn't the truth right now, nobody wants to be stopped by a fucking train in Ohio. But all right, so that is episode 153. We'll be back in 2 weeks. So mark your calendars. It's the best time of the year for the Sleazy podcast.
Yeah.
The best award show of all. The Sleazies.
The best award show where nobody gets slapped anyway.
Yeah.
But hey, you never know.
You never
know.
Hopefully.
I might slap Rob. So we have to get busy on that. We have to start getting the category set, and then I'd like to put like a PowerPoint together, but I'm not sure if I can. I get wary about running things while streaming this because it can crash sometimes. So we'll see what goes on with that. But
I got a couple of 2022 movies I still got to sneak in.
Yeah, same here.
The White Lotus that you wanted us to watch or whatever.
You guys got to watch the White Lotus.
Come on, watch the White Lotus. It's so good.
You got to. I mean, I didn't watch it all week to week because that's one show I can wait for it all to come out. But it was definitely one of the best shows this year. So it'll definitely be nominated. Uh-oh. We got an ad coming up here.
I was like,
it's still playing. Welcome to Huntington. That's all you need to know.
that's this week's sponsor.
Yeah. I couldn't even find where that was coming from. I think it's coming from this Ranker page.
Probably.
Yeah. It's weird that it didn't play the whole time.
Right.
It just popped up there. Like, hey, you left your page open. Let's get an ad your way.
Gonna get a view out of this one.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back. Hopefully ad free. So we won't have any of those pop up. But yeah, we got to get busy and start getting some categories together. And Robzilla's done his part. He's watched his shittiest movie of the year. He's already got his category picked or his movie picked out. But
were you going to vote in that category?
No.
So that's sort of a Robzilla.
It's an exclusive. It's an exclusive privilege of
his.
Have to
watch all of his shitty movies that are nominated for him, and
it's like an honorary award. Like Robzilla's the master of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Robzilla, what's the shittiest movie you watched?
That's the one thing I fully expect him to commit and contribute to. Like that's his thing for the whole year. He just has to find one movie and deem it the shittiest movie of the year. That's all I ask of him. I may yell at him a lot, but the only thing I really want him to do is find the shittiest movie for the year.
But now, if Rob says it's the shittiest movie,
it is.
That's
it is.
Really
it is.
Because Rob takes pride in watching shitty movies.
But if he likes, so it's going to be a shitty movie that he doesn't like.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So then really
he'll watch shitty movies and go, "This is the worst fucking movie I watched this year." So that's the winner of the shitty movie of the year award.
But yeah, so and pretty much we'll probably vote on it. That's normally what we do. We vote, and I think I'm usually the last one, but I don't know how we'll do it this year. Maybe we'll have
choose a little vote, little discussion.
I think you'll be here.
Yeah, I'm coming. Yeah, so there'll be 5, right? Yeah.
So you can kind of if we're tied, maybe you can be a tiebreaker for the Sleazies. But yeah. That'd be cool if we could get I should print out little awards and mail them to the people.
Hey, Hot Sauce has 2 weeks. He has a 3D printer.
Yeah.
You can make the Sleazy awards.
You gotta come up with what the Sleazy looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was actually trying to print something today and it fucking failed. It's laying back there on the print bed. I got pissed off and turned the printer off.
Now that sucks.
Yeah, he can make some cool things, I'm sure.
I keep seeing now on TikTok. Apparently I must have watched or liked a video of a 3D printer, and now I keep seeing where people are live streaming their 3D prints. It's just they turn their TikTok on and it's just the printer going back and forth building it for fucking hours, dude, 9 hours worth of shit, and people sit there and watch it and fucking chat.
It depends on what you're making and how complex it is and how fast the printer goes. I mean, those people have tons of followers too. People love watching that shit print and talking about it.
with a passion.
I'll never.
Here, I got something. Hang on.
Uh-oh, what's he doing?
Suspenseful.
That's what Muzz freaks out. Like Muzz has stopped watching the show because he doesn't want to look at Hot Sauce's background. He says it ruins the visual for
Is
him.
that your snitch or whatever?
My golden snitch. That took about 2 hours to do. I painted it gold.
What does that mean? A golden snitch?
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
I've never seen Harry Potter.
I've only seen the first one and I couldn't. Well, I've seen a couple, but I don't remember anything from them. Pretty cool. He's printed some cool shit, man. I got to give it to him.
Mm-hmm. Lots of good experimenting.
Yeah. All right. So that's it for this episode. As always, share the show with one person, and from there, we'll get them to share the show with one person. That's my call to action. And if you want to support the show, you can always just listen, share it on your news feeds, tell your friends, your family about it. And you can go to www.thesleazypodcast.com. We have a merch store. You can get t-shirts, coffee mugs, stuff like that. Water bottles, I think, are in there.
I could use some coffee right now.
You should have brought you a little K-cup. You could have made it upstairs.
Next time.
Yeah. Just bring you a little K-cup over. So we'll be back in 2 weeks for the Sleazies. But as always, keep it sleazy.
Thanks for listening to the Sleazy Podcast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and remember, listen to Sleazy.